out, and it's not at the moment because people are getting in the way. The 28 WRT guy's right there.
We caught fire during a pit stop.
There's a flash flyer to the right rear. The guys are there very quickly.
So it was very close for a 24-hour race. Man, what you just did, I would have never expected when I saw you the first time. I will never forget this. My name is Christopher Mies. I'm from Düsseldorf, Germany, and I don't want to say my age because I'm already too old. Well, I started racing back in 26. Basically I never did karting. We never had the funding to do that. So I kicked off basically straight with little touring cars, and it went well. Only did like 3 years of little touring cars, like the Ford Fiesta Cup, so all had the same material. And then I got the chance with Audi 2009 to prove myself as a junior. And since 2009 until 2023, I was an Audi Sport factory driver. Well, luckily I had a lot of success with Audi Sport. We won the ADAC GT Masters Championship twice. We became FIA GT3 European champion straight in the first year, so that was really cool. Obviously I was a young kid back then, so it was a big moment for me. I've won the Australian GT Championship twice, and then probably the proudest moment was winning, besides winning Bathurst twice, the Bathurst 12 hour, was winning the 24 hours of Nürburgring twice as well in 2015 and 2017. Yeah, so in 2015 we introduced our new R8. We didn't know what to expect. It was the first big race for this car. Obviously Nürburgring is special, and you know, when you bring a new car, and we had 4 of them here, you never know what to expect. And I just remember very early in the race, I think my teammate Nico Müller, we caught fire during a pit stop.
Oh, and the 28 car has spilled a little bit of that fuel, and there's a flash flyer to the right rear. The guys are there very quickly with the extinguishers. Driver out of the car extremely quickly, helped out by the outgoing driver.
And suddenly the car caught fire. I remember it was getting a bit hectic, but the team reacted quick. They extinguished the fire and we could go on, you know, but it was a intense moment. It had something to do with the refueling nozzle. And I basically thought the race is over. Back then we were still together with Team WRT. And they are one of the most professional teams in the paddock, and together with the guys from Audi Sport, they figured out what was the problem really quick, so we could continue. It happened another time, a second time later in the race as well. So honestly, at this point, I didn't expect to be on the podium or finish the race, because you know, all these little things happened, and obviously then you still have in your head, you still have the thinking of, yeah, it's a new car, something can break down, which is fully normal. And but luckily the car was driving perfectly. We had a big battle with BMW. They also brought like 4 factory cars, so it was a really big battle. And then the race was super tight the whole time. So the gap was never bigger than, I think, like 30 seconds or something. So it was really a tight race. There was no room for mistakes. We basically just were battling it out on track. Sometimes the BMW was in front, sometimes it was us in front.
And just in front of the battle for the lead, as they come up to the Vidal chicane, an intervention car scampered with all 4 wheels fully lit and the lights on, out onto the Nordschleife.
So the gap as they cross the line, 0.84 of a second between the leading 28 car and the 25 marked VDS BMW.
The leaders still not just within contact visually with each other, but barely a car length apart as they whistle through traffic at unabated speed.
A second dead.
Well, that was at the beginning of the lap.
And I remember then the rain was coming during the race, and suddenly it was like a switch. Like, I don't know, I just drove naturally. I didn't think anymore, I just drove. And I got us into the lead. Car was doing great, mega. I was enjoying it, you know. It's one of those moments where you're just like so focused, like in a tunnel. you're just doing what you love, and you don't think anymore. Yeah, and then in the end, I mean, it came all down to me versus Maxime Martin. Basically, like during the night, one of my teammates wasn't feeling great. I must say big respect to him, because most of the drivers, including me, would probably have said nothing and tried to finish another double stint or whatever. And what happens is if you really feel sick inside the car, I mean, at one stage you either get too slow or you do a mistake and crash the car. So it was the right thing from him to say, I'm not feeling great, get me out of the car, get the other two guys in, and this is what we basically did. And the other one, to be honest, didn't have the pace, so he was off the car quite early after he's done his mandatory stints. So it was basically like from the early morning hours on Sunday was basically down to me and my teammate alone. These things can happen. I mean, if you feel sick, it's better to say that you feel sick than jumping into the car and you have to cancel your stint. So it was the right call that he said, like, he's not feeling great. It's a demanding race with the traffic. The track is incredible demanding.
And that's the problem, of course, when you hit a slightly quicker car that's going past slower cars. They're heading up from Bergwerk up the hill, and this is all should be flat out. And it's not at the moment because people are getting in the way. The 28 WRT car is right there.
When we were battling with BMW, obviously we had those slow zones after the accident, what happened here. So we had like 200 to 50 slow zones.
So we haven't seen an incident requiring an ambulance. However, we now have onboard pictures with the number 25 car that lies in second place. It's tyre marks in the middle of the road. There's been several looping spins here. This is all the way down towards the foxhole, I think. And car off on driver's left. Barrier repairs on driver's left.
But I remember we didn't have this going down in the foxhole. And I was going side by side, I think back then with Richard Westbrook. Side by side, like we both gave each other room, but just like we banged doors 1-2 times, and you know, it's like twisty. It's even though it's flat, it goes left right into compression. And we went through that without any big damage on our cars, but we gave us such a big respect to each other. And I think probably Westy didn't even know me back then, so I think he knew me after, but not before. It was up to me to finish the last double stint. It was a big battle back and forward between me and Maxime. Obviously we were in the lead. He was a bit catching, then I was pulling away again. And back then when we finished, I remember it was the closest finish in history with like, I can't remember the number, but it was like 20 seconds, 17 seconds, something like that, or 8 or 28. So it was very close for a 24-hour race, right? So if you would have done one mistake, the race would have been basically lost.
Our leader has made it through the Kleine Carousel and will now make the final couple turns before he comes down that long straightaway before taking the checkered flag and victory in the 43rd running of the Zurich 24 Hours of the Nürburgring. Radio Mont coverage brought to you by Aston Martin this year, and it has been another fantastic race as the 28 car continues to hold about a between 40 and 45 second lead as he comes down the final time. He'll go down the hill and then up under the Bilstein Bridge. There he goes, and down into Tiergarten for the final time. The number 48 car, the Audi Sport Team WRT. Christopher Mies behind the wheel. Co-drivers Edward Sandstrom and Nico Muller and Lorenz Vantor going to be celebrating when he comes by. This year, it's going to be Team WRT winning at the Nürburgring.
So victory for the Audi team, and chasing them all the way to the line, the Mark VDS Racing BMW will finish just a little over half a minute behind the...
I remember also me and Nico Müller, or me and the boys, we did a bet coming from me. I said, if we win the race, we're going to shave our heads. Obviously, I have a weird-looking head, so I knew it would look stupid. But they didn't expect us to win, so we made this bet with the team. They were fully confident, and we drivers, we were like, yeah, let's make the bet, because it will never happen, because, it's a new car, a new challenge. You don't know what to expect, you know. You were not sorted yet, really, with the setup and everything. A lot of things you're going to discover in the future, so we were like, okay, this is our baseline. We go into the race with that. The car feels good, but you don't know if it's reliable, right? Anyway, we made this bet and ended up winning the race. Then straight after, I remember coming off the podium, Vincent Boss, the team boss, was waiting in the tent with the whole team, having a shaver in his hand, and was ready to shave our heads. So yeah, it was just a big fun party afterwards. Even though we were tired, it was so much fun, like getting our heads shaved. And the next day, I think 2 days after, we had to be at Audi Sport facilities for media duties, and we all looked so stupid. So yeah, but it's still, looking at the pictures, it's a cool memory. I will never forget this. And it was my first 24-hour Nürburgring win, and I think also the first one for my teammates. So it was just a special moment, even though we looked a bit strange afterwards or different than before the race, but it was really worth it.